14 minutes after 9, where we talked about contracts, personnel, litigation.
Okay.
It's not fine. Did we have any motions out of executive session?
Yes, based on the recent overwhelming right-to-know requests we've received, along with the assumption that due to a local social media outcry encouraging a continued flooding of these requests for our district, I make a motion to authorize administration to recall the most senior MESPA secretarial staff member effective September 25th, 2017, and post and advertise for the position if necessary.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions from the public on the motion?
Yeah, what did you repeat that, please? Can you clarify?
There's a motion to bring back the
Most senior
most senior furloughed secretary.
You're talking about me.
Sorry?
You're talking about me.
If you fit that criteria.
I'm the only furloughed.
We're talking
What's
about
last
you.
name?
Can you repeat it then, please?
What's your last name?
We're looking at bringing you back.
The motion is to bring you back starting next Monday, but that agree, Mr. Finch?
25th of September.
Same position, same everything?
As assigned.
As assigned, so not necessarily the same.
No.
Everything
Well, I think
Well,
they have to
You'll let her know what,
All right.
vote on the motion.
Somebody will be in
If it's
contact.
voted yes, then somebody will be in contact.
Yes.
Any other questions from the public on the motion?
What's the reason for bringing back a secretary?
Mr. Finch just stated.
we are overwhelming our current staff with their current duties with all of the right-to-know requests. So in order to get our current staff doing the jobs we've hired them to do, we need somebody, it is the law to, give the information that is requested and, in the manner it's requested. So in order to meet the law with these right-to-know requests and to meet the needs of this school, we can't currently keep up with meeting the law and then the current staff doing their current job effectively. So we want to bring somebody back, basically to handle what we believe to be a continued right-to-know request mentality and let these people do their normal jobs.
So the school, the system is being overloaded with right-to-know requests.
Yes.
I think I would address the situation from that angle.
Yeah, I can't address, if
You
somebody
opened
wants.
it up to the floor, Mr. President. I'm part of the floor.
Yeah.
And that was my comment.
To address it in what manner?
What's the
I
gist of-
can't tell the public that they're not allowed to, request information.
No, but
Is that would be the suggestion.
no, but I can tell you, again, I've had a little bit of training on
I've
this.
had a lot of training.
And
experience on it.
exactly, here's exactly how they told us. If you're getting a lot of requests for the budget, put the budget online. If you're getting a lot of requests for one type of information or certain things, put it out there. That limits the request.
Right. How do you suggest we put email traffic, live email traffic out there online?
Well, and no, it doesn't work for every request, but it works for a lot of them.
That's,
Okay.
that's where we're at.
Okay, we have debate on that, but we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Any other things out of executive session? Okay, personnel. Motion to approve the drivers is presented for the 2017 school year. Motion second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve the substitute employees as presented for the 2017-18 school year.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? There was questions earlier about substitute employees. It's for cafeteria, custodial, paraeducator, secretary, and two others are paraeducator. So part of the minutes didn't have that. Any other questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion to approve the substitute teachers as presented for
So moved.
17-18?
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve the list of candidates as presented for emergency day-to-day substitute teachers for 2017
So
school year.
moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 5, accept with regret the resignation of Mr. Jacob Stone as drama club advisor.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion passes. Number 6, need a motion to approve Ms. Maggie Mizell to replace Ms. Catherine Morgan as library department head for this
So
2017-18
moved.
school year.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Nay. Roll call, please. I didn't come in count.
Mr. Finch?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
No.
Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Lucian?
No.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Shingle?
No.
Mr. Schreiber?
Yes.
Mr. Shigenon?
Yes.
6-3.
Okay, motion passes. Number 7, Guthrie High School Club and Activity Sponsors. Motion to approve the pay of Guthrie High School Club and Activity Sponsors for the 17-18 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is any question on the motion?
These are under contract, this is according to
Right.
contract.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
7-2. Or 7. 7-2. Number 8, need a motion to accept with regret the resignation of Ms. Miranda
moved.
Mullins.
Shouldn't that have been a roll call?
No.
I heard 3 or 4, but I don't know how many.
I heard.
The vote was 7-2, and as long as the secretary can ascertain how the vote was done, that's all that's necessary to be done, so.
Good. Number 8, yeah, motion to accept with regret the resignation of Ms. Miranda Mullins.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to accept with regret the resignation of Mr. Gregory Stovek.
So moved.
Technology Education
Second.
Director. Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve Mr. Scott McCune as a site
So
manager.
moved.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to accept with regret the resignation of Mr. Ivan Ullum as the 4-hour high school middle school teacher.
So moved.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve Mr. William Miller, 4-hour Clays Elementary evening security officer, to transfer to high school.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve Mr. Shane Bain, 4-hour Clays Elementary
So
evening
moved.
security officer.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Excuse me. Need a motion to approve the substitute security guards for the 17-18 school year at the highly rated
So moved.
first E50.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Nothing under policy. business. Motion to approve payment of statement number 5 for professional services for HSSDR.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve payment of statement number 6 for professional
So
services.
moved. Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve payment of invoice 513260 in the amount of $2,040 from the
So
capital
moved.
project fund.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve payment to Andrews and Price for the submitted invoice.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I can. Number 5 and 6 are Andrews and Price bills. Any questions?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 7, HHSDR has submitted a change order AB1. Need a motion to approve change order AB1 from the
So
Environmental
moved.
Protection.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion?
That is a big number, right?
Deduction
Yeah.
of $2,000.
Okay.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 8, need a motion to approve payment of application certification for payment number 75101 in the amount of $136,000
So
to
moved.
Waller.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Motion to approve payment of application certification for payment on.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Administrative reports. Facilities use report.
We had 41 requests to use the facilities in August, 34 were school-related, and 7 were community-related.
Solicitors report.
I took care of everything in the executive session,
Western Area Career Technology.
We have a tentative agreement with the teaching staff. So that's a 4-year deal, I can say that. Details.
Can't hear you.
Tentative agreement with the teachers at the Western Area Career Technology Center. 4-year deal, just a little less than 2.5% raise per year. So kind of right in line with what we had hoped to get done. And then also the roof project is ongoing down there. I'd say it's about halfway through. They've been down there about 3 weeks now. So, fingers crossed we can get it done here in the next 3 weeks.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
PSBA.
Not much going on, they still are trying to pass a balanced budget, they're trying to come up with $2 billion somehow, some way. You know, the credit rating for the state is going down, I guess, as of this morning.
The school district is much better than theirs.
There you go. That's about it.
Okay. It's time to entertain public comment on agenda and non-agenda items.
Roger, how many do we have?
We have a total of 5 right now.
Mr. President, should I make a comment prior to these comments?
Sure.
I was ashamed at the last school board meeting when one of our students had to come here to tell the public how to act when approaching the board. It was pitiful. We're here to be role models to these students. And if the community has issues, let's please address them in a professional manner, because you're setting a very poor example for our students. If a student has to come and rebuke somebody for calling people names at a school board meeting, we should all, everybody in this room, be ashamed of ourselves. I would also request that when you address the podium, you would have one positive thing to say about this district before anything else that you say. Because this has to stop.
Is this lecture for me?
It's for the entire audience, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Every single Donegal Township, praise the Lord, I'm glad to be here and glad to be before all of you. Thank you. I want to address something that
So
was
there's
brought.
nothing positive at the district.
I just said, praise the Lord, I'm glad to be here. You're taking my time up, I'm sorry. I'm going to speak rather rapidly. I'm going to ask, please follow the paper that you have before you. The documents are all numbered. Some time ago, your residents, tax-paying residents, had asked about why we do not use the intermediate unit more expediently because they have resources that are available for a cheaper cost. Now, Dr. Colott gave us a paper. She gave a paper to the board members and addressed it to the rest of the people in not the last special meeting, but the meeting prior to that. That is document item number 3. So if you all would look at document item number 3. That looks very good. She painted a nice picture there, and I thank you for presenting that. I do appreciate your effort. But what she left out was if you would look at document item number 2. This is the IU's paperwork. She only presented to you if it's your employee. If you're in the shared group, the co-op group, you could get all of those services for $44,000. So if you would go to item document 1, you notice there, and by the way, this backup material is on document number 4 from my right to know, which I would have spoken about at the same time she did, but I didn't have my right to knows back. 4 names are right there. Those were the salaries I was given. So now on document number 1, if we have a total of $268,292, and it's 4 of them that are named, we're giving them approximately, and this is a low estimate, but $67,000 for each one in salary. $74,499 for health care, which totals for each one of them about $19,000 for health care. And then for the retirement, $20,000 for each one of them for their retirement, which brings the total. McGuffey paid those people that you employed here to $105,000, well, almost $106,000, when we could have got those services from the IU for $44,000. That means that McGuffey spent in excess of $62,000. In an excess. When you times that by 4, we're talking $250,000 here. I'm sorry, I think that your taxpayers have a right to make this known. $250,000 might have saved some of the faculty that we laid off, or the transportation supervisor. This is always, I don't know why you think we're picking or badgering. That's not the intent. Here's the intent. When you asked to lay off people, how many of you saw this organizational chart? Because when I worked and my boss said we need to make cutbacks, that was presented to me. Where are the cutbacks going? You took the recommendation of your employee, of you board members' employee, and rightly so. You should have taken her recommendation. But how trustworthy is it when you're talking about an heir of, intentional or not, $250,000? Thank you very much. I am very glad to be part of the McGuffey School District, and I'm very glad to have the opportunity to speak here before you. And again, I say praise the Lord for that. Thank you.
Both Mr. Allen, Jack.
Good evening, I'm Alan Jack, I live in South Franklin Township. I want to thank the board for this opportunity to speak. I also want to thank the McGuffey School District, and especially Megan Van Fossen for the excellent services that my granddaughters Cameron and Carol Lambert receive in the life skills class. They spent the first 2 years of their school life in an intermediate unit. There was no progress and a lot of opportunities were missed. But during the last 7 years here at McGuffey, we have seen significant results. I was born in 1949. Going to school in the 50s and 60s, I had no exposure to other kids with disabilities in school. They were kept out of sight and I guess out of mind. When I did come in contact with somebody with mental impairments, I'm ashamed to say that words such as retard and freak were common with almost everyone else. You may have heard these words yourself. They're extremely hurtful, not only to the child, but to their parents as well. Today, with programs such as instituted here at McGuffey, these children are being mainstreamed with kids who have a different normal than they do. It's a definite win-win for everyone. This will be especially true for the children who will someday become adults and have children of their own. The autism rate has increased 7-fold over the last 50 years, and because we still do not know the cause, it's likely to increase. The children of today who have the opportunity to associate with kids with disabilities will be better prepared for the understanding and compassion needed if they happen to become parents of a child with a mental or physical impairment. Now, I know there are people in the district who feel these children need to go to school, such as offered by the IU, but the benefit not only in association, but cost as well, if the truth be known, is where they belong, here at McGuffey. These kids need, deserve, and benefit greatly from the interaction and friendship they get from kids who have a different normal than they have. And I'd like to say to those people, if you do not have a child who is benefiting from the program here at McGuffey, you have no right to say what is better for them. Do we really want to regress to the days of long ago, or do we want to proceed as we have been towards a brighter future for all of our children? Thank you.
Sir, I'd like to make a comment on your comments. I've been on the board for 12 years. You're the second person that's ever thanked this board publicly. And it's because of the first person that thanked us publicly was in exactly the same shoes that you were, sir. Those are the only two people that has ever publicly thanked this board.
Mr. President, call Jamie Riddle.
So I would like to thank the board for everything that you guys do and the fact that you care about the special education program that we have here. I'm here speaking as a mother of a child who has special needs. He is just not learning disability. He has also mood and emotional handicaps. The fact that people are on public media and bashing the school and the district, people that are working every day with these children, some people really have no idea what it is like to work with our kids. And it takes a special kind of person. So that is not good for our children. Our kids don't need to see the public bashing. It doesn't set a good example. There are people that are fighting to get into this area to get their kids in this district because of this special ed program. And as a parent, I would walk through hell to bring my kid here if I knew that it was going to help him the way that he has needed to be. He is in 7th grade. He now luckily has been mainstreamed for 7 years. He is around people and kids that know him, that have known him his whole life. That is a comfort for him. It is a routine. It is what he banks on. He now is able to participate in 4-H. The kids that he shows with, he sees them every day at school. They know him. It's comfortable for him. To have him even the thought of putting him somewhere else for different services, why would I want to change my child's routine? That is what makes him calm, and it's what he banks on in life. I'm not gonna also take my child to another area for this as well too. I stay in this district for a reason, because of what my son benefits from here. The people that deal with my son every day have gone above and beyond. And I am grateful for everything that I have gone through to get him to this point. He's 13 years old. He's amazing. And he's amazing because of Megan Van Fossen, because of all the aides that he has had, Miss Friend, all the emotional support that he gets through the days. And I apologize, I'm extremely nervous here. But, you know, to turn around and have people mock anybody, it's ridiculous. The kids are the ones that hurt, ultimately, in the end. Just because it's cheaper doesn't make it better.
I feel like you're talking to me.
I am.
I would like to say we have a great school
Oh, I believe it. but my
educational
son was there.
program.
I did it.
And
I've
we're
been there,
not-
done that.
No one
And it
is
didn't
saying
work for
we
us.
don't have a
Roger,
great
could you please
program.
correct this situation?
It
We
didn't
have a
work for
great
us. I'm not
program.
attacking you. I'm just saying,
We
for
have a
me,
great
this is
program.
what works for my child.
Ma'am, Roger, please.
One at a
I'm sorry.
time, please.
So, no, you're not, it's not your fault, ma'am.
But he benefits greatly because of this, and I am thankful.
What do the rules say directed to the board?
She has 3
May I just
minutes
please
to
continue to
speak.
speak right now? That's it, and then I will walk out of
Shut
here.
that thing.
Actually, your time's up now.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to comment as well, ma'am. I mean, I can't speak for the board, obviously, I can speak for myself. But, I mean, I personally am not even close to entertaining sending our kids to the IU. I mean, that's my personal thing, I can't speak for.
We're not, please understand, that is not what this is about.
Mr. President, we call Frank Archambault to the podium.
It's about using IU services here at the school, guys. Please don't
She's not on the
come out
podium.
confused.
Can you please be quiet for just a moment?
Frank Archambault, Donegal Township, I owe you all an apology. And I owe the community an apology. Because 3 years ago, I sat right over there, and it was a 4-4 vote. I had abstained to raise taxes. Because I didn't know what to do. I was new and I was scared. And I finally said yes. And it was the 5-4 vote that carried it. Mr. Ross said, "You did good." No, I didn't, Mr. Ross. I owe everybody an apology. I'm the one that raised your taxes. Madam Superintendent, a couple of months ago, Georgia Gowdy came to you and wanted to know what happened to the Italian scholarship that was proposed for you, and you said that you would look into it, that your office had been called, that some folks had offered a scholarship for an Italian person in the school. You said there weren't any Italians. I asked you about that, and you said you would look into that. Oh, it's on tape. You said you would look into that. Did you look into it?
Oh, excuse me, go ahead, Sharon.
Rather, I would look into it?
Yeah.
Yes, I had a follow-up conversation with her,
Okay.
and she was supposed to get me additional information.
And that hasn't happened yet?
That's correct.
Okay, fine. Now, and a couple of months ago, I approached the president and I asked him about the evaluation of the superintendent, which had yet at that time been accomplished. Has it been accomplished? And has it been published?
Yes, sir.
Is it on the website?
Not yet.
Well, then it hasn't been published.
It will be.
Well, it will be, is not, it has been. Well, that's all I have to say. I think the biggest thing I wanted to do is apologize to everybody for raising your taxes. And I would like to see some honesty from other men that are here, and when they stop acting like Fabian socialists and start acting like,
Excuse me?
you made a motion to agree,
Frank, I think you need to sit down.
I will sit down.
I think you need to sit down.
Probably time to sit down.
Or else not be removed, one or the other. I've had about enough of that. Mr. President, Mr. Archambault yields his time. We call Amber Finch. She's also accompanied by her son, who wishes to make a comment to the board.
Hi, I'm Amber Finch from East County Township. Hello. Hello, my name is Jet Finch, and I'd just like to say that I'm in the gifted program, and I'm in tech, and I've been in ag, and I just don't want it to go away. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
First, I'll say I'm proud to be an alumni of McGuffey and extremely thankful that our lives have worked out the way they did, that we can come back to this community and bring our children back here and go to this school. With that said, children, and we all agree, deserve the the best of the best. That's what we all expect for all of them. Whether they have a GIEP or an IEP, or they have no IEP, they're just in class. We want them to be happy and successful and prosper and make friends and not be bullied. There's so many things that everybody here agrees on. Can anybody agree with me on any of this so far? The basis of what everybody wants is the same thing. It's very hard to see the nitpicking between the serious issues that should be talked about and be the forefront of what's important here, and the petty stuff that means absolutely nothing and is just dragging everything down. With that being said, along the lines of this IEP and using the IU, the statement was that it was for the children to not be going to the IU. Whether they go to the IU or the IU services come here, it's the IU services that are going to be used. I've also used the IU services with another child. I would not use the IU services. Again, that's my personal opinion. Before I entered my oldest child here, I met with the school district to see what services were available for him and how things would be handled. I was extremely pleased. I enrolled him in this school. If I wasn't pleased, I wouldn't have enrolled him in this school, and I think that you'll find that a lot more people that have children like mine and like the others that have spoken will come to this school, will review before they enter their children, and if they don't feel that it's a satisfactory result, they will not send their children here. Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes registered public comment.
Okay, no. No, I'm not there yet. I do want to say that the board evaluated Dr. Polak, and she has a satisfactory rating, and it will get posted. So